And I am having fun today. I am having fun today. We haven't had one of these classes where I teach you things like this in a long time. All of these classes where you guys go ahead and read from page 1 to page whatever, right? And then ask me questions, right? Of course, you always ask questions and I'm happy to answer. But I like these classes a little bit more, because I like to teach you guys. All right. So let's jump to exercise 8F, right? I'm going to do the A on question 1, 2, and 3, and 4, of course. All right, so for point 1, the question A says, shade the region on a three-set Venn diagram that shows each set. So the first thing I want to do is draw my set. All right, let's draw my set. I'm going to have set A, B, and C. And in here, the universal. Beautiful. So I have A, B, C, and the universal. This is a capital letter, don't forget. Beautiful. All right. Now that I have my drawing, I need to shade this part. I need to shade the union between A and B, right? The union between A and B. And once I've done that union, I'm going to unite that with the set C. So I have a double union, right? Now, these parentheses are there for a reason. These parentheses shows you what two sets you're going to do first, right? Just like in any mathematical operation, do the parentheses first. So in here, I'm going to find the union between A and B, and from there, do the union between that set and C, all right? Okay, so the union between A and B, will be this, right? Shade it right here. I don't have a lot of markers, so I'm not gonna shade in absolutely everything. I'm just going to kind of do these lines over here, all right? That way you can see, right? You can see what would be the shaded part and what is outside the shaded part, right? Like that, all right. Beautiful. So now I shaded A and B. The union between A and B. The union between A and B. If I was asked to do the intersection, I wouldn't have done everything, right? I would just have done the thing in the middle, the intersection. All right. From here, let's do the union between that set and C. And since we are doing the union, all we have to do is shade the rest. That is it, of course. By the rest, I mean the rest of C. Now, C already has some parts being shaded. Look, this little part on top of C is already shaded. I am not going to double shade it, right? I'm going to try to continue with the lines. There we go. Try to continue the lines like that, and then erase everything outside the little circle, because I am only shading the things inside the circle, right? There we go. And that'll be it. Like this, I have the union of everything, A, B, and C. The only thing that will not be shaded in this exercise will be the thing outside, A, B, and C. So for example, this area, this little part over here, like this, and over in the top and to the left, and all of this part outside the circles will not be shaded because I'm only shading A, B, and C, right? Of course, exercise A was the easy of them. Oh no, in A I have two parts. This will be the first part, right? This will be the first part. There, right? Let me do the second part here. I have to do another diagram. A, B, and C, right? A, B, and C. And then the rectangle for the universal set. All right. In my second diagram, I am being asked to do the union between A, but first, before I do the union of A and something, I am going to do the union between B and C. Right? That's what it says. B, the union between B and C first. That is the reason of the parentheses. And after that, do the union of A. All right, exactly the same. So let's begin with the union between B and C. And the union will be this one. Let me just draw the little lines like this. Again, if you want to do this with colors, you can do it, but I don't have a lot of ink. So as you guys know, going now right now is not a possibility. So I don't want to spend a lot of time marking inside, right? So this, I feel like these little lines help, right? You guys can see what would be the shaded part, right? Beautiful. Like this, we finished the union between B and C. B and C. Perfect. From here, let's do the union between A and that set that I already did. A and this set. Okay, so we have our little set, and now let's do the union between this and A. By doing the union, all I mean is shade as well, right? If this was the intersection, then things will change. Things would change. But we're not being asked for the intersection. We're being asked for the union, which is the easier in my opinion, right? So let's just continue these lines and then create some new ones. There we go. Beautiful. Erase everything outside the circles because we are only asked to do A. So nothing outside A. And like that, guys, we have we have the union between A and the union of B and C. Perfect. Now, something interesting to look at is that these two sets are the same. So what it looks like in here is that when we talk about a union, it doesn't really matter where you put the parentheses, right? You can put them at the beginning, the two sets first, or you can put them at the end, the last two sets first. But you have to make sure you have the two unions as operations. If you have something like union and then intersection, things may change. So yeah, I feel like that is the reason why this exercise has so many diagrams. And you guys can work on those now. But before we do, let's do the A on point 2. I'm going to erase these now. I don't have enough space in my board. Sorry about that, guys. And let's do question 2. 2A. All right. Okay, for question 2, for the point 2, the question asks us to use set notation to name just the shaded part, right? In each of the Venn diagrams that we have. All right. The Venn diagram is the one that we have over there, right? The one that we have here. This is the one for question 2. All right. And we have to use set notation. What that means is work backwards. In the question 1, we wanted to shade some sets, and they gave us the set notation. They gave us this instruction. This is the set notation, right? Remember, there are two ways of writing a set. The set notation, and then another one, which is the set builder notation. You could argue there's a third way, which is listing the elements. Listing the elements, right? These are three ways in which you can name or kind of specify what sets you are talking about. Set notation is just the set. Let me write it here. The set and maybe any operations between sets. For example, A complement and the intersection B complement. Something like this will be set notation, right? Set builder notation, though, is when you write it like this. The set is the x's, the element x, such as x belongs to the real numbers and I don't know, something, x bigger than 5, something like that. This, where you write down the characteristics of the set, is the set builder notation. And listing the elements will just make reference to every single element. Let me change this into integers. It'll be easier for me to write down the elements in here. So we have bigger than 5, so 6, 7, 8, 9, and then ... because we have an infinite amount of elements in this set. This will be listing the elements, all right? the three possible ways of naming sets. And you're going to be asked about these three in your examinations, guys. All right. Now, tomorrow, no, the next class, we will have a quiz, right? The next class, we will have a quiz. And I'm going to have to ask you all of this, all right? We have we are recording this. So, I mean, if you want to take notes or take a picture, that's okay. But you can always go back to the video and look all of this, all right? Whew. Okay, so in this, as I was saying, in the question 2, they want us to work backwards. Now, in question 1, they gave us the set notation, and they wanted us to shade the diagram. In question 2, they have the diagram shaded already, and they want us to create our set notation. Ooh, now this is a lot more interesting. This is a lot more interesting. Okay, so let's think for a little bit. How can we write down a set notation for this set? All right, let's think of the characteristics on this set. We have almost, kind of the set C being shaded entirely. But we don't have the intersection. We don't have the intersection. So how can we write this down? Okay, now there are a lot of possibilities in here. There are a lot of possibilities. We can say C and the intersection of, the intersection of A and B could be?
Teacher?
Yes.
I was thinking about
another one, all right.
Wait a moment. Wait.
Do you have an idea? All right. If you have an idea, let us know.
Yes, wait a moment. My idea is like, yes, something like that. Like the...
Let's see. Let's hear it.
Wait a moment. The union?
Okay.
Wait. The intersection?
All right, the intersection.
Wait. Es que lo imagino en set builder notation, pero no como la forma normal.
Set notation, not set builder notation. Set notation.
Sí. Lo miro desde la forma de set builder notation porque es más fácil.
Okay. All right, okay. So the ones that are in...
Se podría decir todos aquellos que pertenezcan a C,
okay,
a excepción de la intersección entre A, B, C y A, B. O sea, todos aquellos elementos que pertenezcan a C sin incluir la intersección entre A, B, C.
So what you're saying is this. Say the elements from C minus the intersection of A, B, and C.
Exactamente.
Now that will be correct. If you want to do it like this, that will be correct. That will be correct. But there is a big but. In mathematical studies, now this in mathematics in general, it is perfect, it is correct. But in mathematical studies, this little sign over here means nothing. Because we have not used this little sign, and we will not use it ever. In an examination, you cannot use this sign.
Entonces, el complemento, ¿no?
You can only use the intersection, the union, and the complement. So this one, although it's a good idea, we have to change it for the to use only the signs.
Ya sé, Gus. Mira,
right.
A, intersección de B, en paréntesis.
Okay.
En paréntesis. La intersección de C.
Okay.
Y el C, es que no sé cómo se pone eso. C y el complemento, o sea, el complemento de eso. No, borra eso. No. No, espera un segundo. De eso que está ahí, el complemento de eso. No. De toda la unión de todo eso, o sea, en otros paréntesis más grandes, eso. El complemento de eso. Exacto.
Okay.
¿Sí?
All right, okay.
Y ahí me quedé. Algo así tiene que ser porque es todo lo que no es eso, pero estaría incluyendo lo universal. Y entonces pues tengo que quitar lo universal, pero no sé cómo quitarlo.
Yes, because now you have the little part inside, and once you say the complement of that, it's absolutely everything outside, outside the little part inside. That includes the one that the one that you call the universe, right? This area, right? That section. And you don't want that section, right? So what do we do now?
El complemento del universal también. O sea, ¿qué haría?
What if we do this?
No gusta.
What if we do this? The complement between this whole set, all right, the complement of this whole set intersected with C. Does it work or not?
Estoy pensando. Estoy imaginándomelo, espérate.
Guys, in the chat, please. Not only Maria Paz. Thank you, Maria Paz. But not only Maria Paz. In the chat, please. Does this work for our first example? Yes or no?
Sí funciona. Mentira, espérate. Porque si es la unión. Sí, porque no tendríamos en cuenta lo universal ahí. Espérate. ¿Qué se está colapsando? Espérate. Espérate, dibujo eso.
Draw a diagram. Maybe you can see it better that way. Right? This part is the intersection of A, B, and C. So I mean this in the middle, this section. But once I said everything else, the complement, I mean everything else. So this will be the first part. Here. This will be the first part, right? Right? Everything else outside this intersection. This will be the first part, right?
Pero entonces quedaría, o sea, espérate un segundo, ¿por qué no sería así entonces? Porque en vez de intersección entre A y B sería la unión entre A y B. Porque tenemos que quitar esa parte de A y B.
Okay, so you're thinking on a different possibility, right? You're thinking on a different possibility than this. All right, we'll look at that in a minute. But we want to find out if this works or not. We want to know for sure, does this work or not? Because if it works, then we're done, right? But if it doesn't, we need to look for another one, right? Another set notation. All right, so far we have this. This will be the Venn diagram of this first set, correct? Okay. From here, let's intersect that with C. In other words, what is in common between this whole diagram, all this shaded part, and C? What is in common? I'm going to do it with green. This is in common, right? This is in common as well. All of this is C, right? And now we need to ask ourselves, is that the drawing that we have in the book?
No, Gus, espera un segundo que eso está mal. Ya caí en cuenta, espérate. ¿No sería la intersección? Espérate, no. Sería la unión. Espérate.
Paremos un momentico, listo, paremos un momentico. Vamos a hacerlos al españolito, a ver. Mis niños, por favor, en el chat, todo mundo, escríbame sí o no, por favor. Este diagramita, mira, estamos mirando solo la parte verde, ¿listo? La parte morada era lo del inicio. La parte verde es lo morado con C, intersección C. O sea, lo que hay en común entre C y lo morado. Eso es lo verdecito. Esta parte de aquí afuera, este sector, no es tan verdecito. Este de aquí arriba no está en verdecito, no está en verdecito este de acá, este tampoco está en verdecito, ¿cierto? Lo único que está en verdecito es este de aquí. Lo que está en común entre C y todo lo demás. Ahora respóndanme por favor en el chat, ¿sí o no? ¿Es este el dibujito que tenemos en el diagrama, en el libro? ¿O no? Por supuesto, sin contar las líneas moradas, porque pues las líneas moradas hacen parte solo del primer ejercicio,
Así
no
sí
del segundo.
pertenece Gus. Ya, entendí.
Ok, la gente está escribiendo que sí, muy bien muchachos. Solo 4 escribieron que sí, entonces, bueno, no sé, el resto imagino que está pensando todavía, ok. Ya tenemos 6 respuestas, ok. Pero parece que sí le pegamos, ¿no? Eso fue gracias a María Paz, porque María Paz se le ocurrió esta idea. Pues a C quitémosle algo, a C quitémosle algo, quitémosle esta intersección. Sin necesidad de usar el símbolo quitar, o sea, la resta en conjuntos, porque nuevo, si estudios matemáticos no conoce este símbolo, entonces no lo vamos a usar. En un examen no podemos usarlo. Tenemos ni idea de ese símbolo. Sin necesidad de usar este símbolo, esta es la manera en que le quitas algo a los conjuntos. El conjunto que querías quitar, pones complemento y luego intersección del original. Mira, este era el que querías quitar, vas a hacer el complemento de ese y luego lo interseccionas con el original. Y en efecto, quitaste lo demás. Vuelvo y lo explico. Si quieres hacer A menos B, como no sabemos hacer, ay no, no se ve, perdónenme, no sé, voy a hacer otro marcador que se vea. Como si quieres hacer A menos B, como no sabemos usar el menos, no sabemos, una forma fácil es hacer B complemento intersección A. Eso debería ser A menos B. Miramos y sí. A ver, hagamos un diagramita para A menos B. A, B. Este es A, este es B. A menos B sería esto, ¿cierto? ¿Verdad? Eso es A, pero le quitamos B. ¿Cierto? Ok. ¿Y cómo sería B complemento menos A? Otro diagramita. Esto de los diagramitas es muy bonito. Aquí me faltó la U de universo. A ver, A, B. ¿Cómo sería entonces B complemento A? Pues el B complemento es todo lo demás, intersección con A, que sería esto. ¿Ok? Nos dio exactamente lo mismo. Entonces, listo, ya aprendimos, mis niños, a cómo restar, cómo quitarle a un conjunto algo, sin necesidad de usar el símbolo de menos.
Pues ver por qué ahí afuera no se cuenta.
Este
De
sector,
afuera.
por el mismo proceso, mira, hagámoslo de nuevo con moradito y eso. Pronto así lo ves más fácil, ¿listo? Este es un ejercicio de 2 partes. Y la primera, la parte más difícil, es la de la intersección, que pronto es la que nos estamos saltando. B complemento es todo esto, lo tienes bien. B complemento es todo esto, también lo de afuera. Todo esto es B complemento, ¿no? La parte de afuera también es B complemento. Entonces esto es B complemento. Este sector es B complemento. Eso lo tienes muy claro. Eso. Ese sería el complemento de B, ¿verdad? Estoy señalando todo lo que no sea B, lo que está en moradito. Pero ahora nos preguntamos, eso que está en moradito, B complemento, ¿qué hay de común entre eso de morado y A? Porque esa es la idea de intersección, lo que hay en común. Entonces, de lo que está en morado, ¿qué hay de común con A? ¿Será que este sector de aquí afuera está en común con A? Si yo dibujase A, ¿este sector estaría en común? Pues no, ¿no? Porque A es solo este círculo. Este sector no está en común. Luego no lo cuento en la intersección. La única parte que sí está en común, la voy a hacer en verdecito, es esta acá. Esta es la parte que está en común, esta. Estoy dibujando A sin la intersección porque la intersección no está morada, entonces no está en común. ¿Listo? Tampoco cuento el sector de afuera porque el sector de afuera no está en A, está afuera de A. Y eso es lo que estoy haciendo. Lo que hay en común entre lo morado y A. ¿Mejor? ¿Alguno, por favor, que me escriba en el
Sí.
chat? ¿Mejor?
Sí,
¿Alguien?
justo.
Ay,
Todo muy
gracias. Listo.
claro.
Perfecto. Entonces, mira, ya tenemos cómo a quitarle a un conjunto un pedacito sin necesidad de usar al menos. ¿Cómo? Pues lo escribimos de esta forma. Si a A quiero quitarle B, no es más sino escribirlo B complemento intersección A. Eso fue lo que hicimos aquí. A C le quitamos un pedazo que era chiquitito, la intersección. El chiquitito A intersección B intersección C. Esto se ve horrible escrito, pero estoy hablando del sector chiquitito este acá. Este chiquitico, el que estoy mostrando en el libro, este chiquitito acá. Ese es el pedacito A intersección B intersección C. O sea, a C le voy a quitar ese pedacito chiquitito. Pero no podemos hacerlo con menos. Así que lo pasamos a nuestra forma de escribir con complemento e intersección. Complemento e intersección. Uno de ustedes quería hacer una, o bueno, quiere, creo, una interna con lógica y conjuntos. Pues aquí hay una forma como reescribir un elemento de un conjunto en otros dos, en términos de otros dos. Algo por ahí puede uno trabajar con una exploración, ¿no? En matemáticas. Pero bueno, de pronto a esa persona le interese. Entonces, inglés, perdóneme. This was the question A. What would be the answer? This one over here. Now, of course, if you reach the same drawing, the same diagram, with a different set notation, it is okay. It is perfect as well. It is correct. Why? Because as I said at the beginning, these have multiple possible answers. These have multiple possible answers. This is one. We figure it out kind of together with Maria Paz, right? But if you reach a different set that gives you the same drawing, then that set is perfect as well, right? These have different possibilities. Okay, and last but not least, question 3 and 4. Sorry, guys. All right, let's see. Let me erase this thing. La, la, la. La, la, la. Man, I'm having a great time today. 3A. 3A. All right. In this Venn diagram, then we have the drawing over here in the book. In this Venn diagram, we have the list of the universe, right? It will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we need to list the elements of a bunch of other options. Now, let's do the first one, A. We want to list it. Focus camera, please. There, thank you. We want to list the elements of the intersection between A and B and C. The intersection between A, B, and C. There we go, the intersection. Now, in this example, we don't have parentheses. We don't have parentheses. So how do we know? How do we know what is the order here? As a regular rule of thumb, the parentheses, the order of these operations will be from left to right. All right, if there are no parentheses. Now, these change a little bit with some exceptions. And whenever we find any of these exceptions, I will tell you about those. So for now, let's just focus on from left to right. All right, so we have the intersection between A and B. And once we have done that, the intersection of C. So the list of elements will be, as always, do the equal and then the curly bracket and write down the elements. All right, so what are the elements? What are the elements inside this intersection? The first part, the easiest to do would be to just kind of imagine the shading diagram. You can kind of imagine it in your head, right? So the intersection between A and B, this is A, this is B. So the intersection will be these ellipses in the middle. You can call it like that, maybe, right? This is the intersection between A and B, right? Beautiful. Now, we're going to intersect that with C. So what is there in common between this and the whole circle of C? Well, this little thing in the middle, right? the center of the diagram. That would be the intersection. And the only element in that intersection is 1. So, like this, we finish our list of elements between the intersection of, in the intersection of A, B, and C. That's it. That's it, guys. Now, there is another way. There is another way. The other way is listing the elements of A, listing the elements of B, then listing the elements of C, then finding the intersection between A and B, so the common ones, and then the commons between that and C. This is what I mean. That takes a lot of time, but you can do it like that if you want to. A, B, and C. All right.
Gus, una pregunta.
Yes.
Antes de que hagas eso, una pregunta. Es
Yes.
en el caso que, o sea, estaba pensando la forma como escribir eso de forma contraria. O sea, en vez de hablar de las intersecciones, hablar de los complementos. O sea, sería una vaina así como, a ver, déjame pensar. Para solamente poner que sean lo que tienen en común los tres grupos, ¿sí? O sea, el centro, ¿sí?
Okay.
Ponerlo de forma contraria, yo que sé, en el caso que no lo pusieran, ¿cómo sería?
I have no idea what you're saying, María Paz.
A ver, ¿cómo te explico? Hay diferentes formas de explicar algo, ¿sí? Entonces ahí nos piden que busquemos la intersección entre A, B y C, ¿sí?
Ok.
La forma contraria de escribir eso. O sea, en vez de escribir la intersección de A, B y C, ay, nada, olvídalo. Voy a dejar para mi interna. Chao.
Okay, so I have no idea what you're saying, but I feel like what you're saying is, how are you going to write this set without having to use interceptions?
Exactamente, sin la necesidad de usar las intersecciones.
Well, that, María Paz, is something that you need to figure out, because it is your internal assessment, right?
Okay. ¿Qué está
There is a
pensando?
way. There is a way in which you can do this set without having to use intersections. But you're going to have to find that yourself, because it is your exploration. All right?
Está bien, me voy a enredar solita. Chao, profe.
All right. Okay, so over here, I have the list of the set A, the list of the set B, which you can see in your diagram, right? And now let's do the list of the set C. Inside C, we find 4, 1, 3, and 7. All right, 4, 1, 3, and 7. Beautiful. Now, from here, after you have done the listings, you can do the sets little by little. So let's work on this. A intersection B, the first part. What are the elements that are in A and also in B? The common ones, the common elements of A and B. Okay, 5 is not common. 2 is common, so I'm gonna write it down. 2 is common. 1 is also common. Look, 1 is, 2 is here and here. 1 is here and here, right? 4 is not there, the 3 is not on top, the 6 is not on top, meaning we are done. We have the intersection. That is the idea of intersection. Remember, guys, the elements that are in common. Now, after we have done A and B, A intersection with B, we can find everything else. A intersection B, and this intersected with C. What are the elements of this set and C, the ones in common between C and A and B? Okay, 4 is not in here. 1 is in here. Look at that. So we have one element, 1. 3 is not there. 7 is not there. And the 2 is not on top, meaning the only element is 1. You can do this process like that if you want. Now, that comes with a problem. You're wasting a lot of time. It took me a long amount of time to do this. This, just by kind of looking at the set you're talking about, is a lot faster. If you want to, you can go ahead, but it takes a lot of time. And last but not least, now finally, let's do point 4. 4A. All right, in 4A, the question says, for the Venn diagram in question 3, so for this exactly same Venn diagram, list the elements of Okay, so it is a continuation, right? Points 4 and 3, they are kind of the same. Let's do this. Let's do the A nonetheless. A intersection B, and all of that. I have it highlighted and I can't see. Sorry, guys. Let me change this real quick. There we go. Beautiful. But before we do that, we're going to do the union between B and C. First, do the union, then the intersection, right? So again, the easiest way to do this is by kind of looking at that set and imagining what would be the shading, right? So if we have the union between B and C, if we have the union between B and C, we have this entire diagram on top. This whole part will be shaded, right? Everything inside there will be shaded, right? Beautiful. And out of that shade, what will be the intersection with A? Well, the intersection with A, sorry, B and C. B and C, these two, right? This is the union, these two. And out of these two, what will be the intersection with A? Well, these three segments, only these three, will be in the union and also in A. So the elements will be 2, 1, and 4. 2, 1, and 4. And that is it. Now, of course, if you want to do this whole process, you can. Now, I have the elements A, B, and C here. So let's just do the other ones real quick. B union C. All right. The ones of B and also the ones on C. We have 2, 1, 3, and 6. 2, 1, 3, and 6. These are the elements of B. And now let's also write down the elements on C. We have 2 and 1, but we already have them, so I'm not going to write them down. And we have 3 and 6. Ooh. I'm sorry. I was doing B again. Sorry. We have 2, 1, 3, and 6. 2, 1, 3, and 6, right? And then let's write down the ones in C. So we have 4, 1, but we already have the 1, 3, but we already have the 3, and 7. These will be the union between B and E and C, right? The union between B and C. The elements of B and also the elements of C. Beautiful. From here, let's do the intersection, right? So all of these intersected with everything. A intersection B union C. All of these intersected with A. What elements are in common between this whole set and A? That is what it says here. Elements in common because we are doing an intersection. Okay, let's see. Is the 2? Yes, the 2 is there. Let me write this down like this. The 2 is common with A, right? So we put it there. The 1 is also common. So we put it there. Is the 3 common with A? No. 6? No. 4 is common, so we're going to write it down. And is the 7 common? No, meaning we are done. 2, 1, and 4, 2, 1, and 4. You can do this in 2 ways. Which one do you prefer is up to you guys. All right? Now, we don't have as much time as we expected from the beginning. So what I want you to do right now, guys, is to please continue working on these exercises, all right? Just continue working on these exercises. And if you have any doubts, you can always ask me, and I'll solve them. And we will record these for any other person who wants to look at the videos, all right? So let's get to it, guys. Thank you.